Hey guys, welcome to Millennial Real Talk, episode 3.
Hey Matt,
What's going on?
how are you? It's a little cold in here.
How would that? Yeah, it's freezing in here. Someone can figure out the dial. But anyway, all right. So yeah, we got a few topics today we're gonna be talking about. I'm gonna be doing a little interview style here. Gonna get Jay's thoughts on a couple of things. So what do you think? Jump right into it.
Whatever you want, Matt.
All right, don't choke. All right.
Nope.
So first topic. When does it make sense to rent?
If you're in a place where you can get approved to buy, and you do decide to rent, that's kind of the real question there. So if you can get pre-approved to buy, and you can buy, but you're choosing to rent, when does it make sense to do that? Personally, like I said, I think if you're not planning on staying in a place more than 2 to 3, 4 years max, then just rent. If you're in a place where if you're just figuring out a new job, not really sure if you're going to stay there, you're in college, not going to stay where your college is located, just rent it out those years. But if you're planning on staying where you are for a good 4+ years, and you just, I think it just makes sense to buy something, because in 5 years, let's say you have to move in 5 years, you know that right up front, buy. 5 years, you pay down your mortgage, your property appreciates, then you sell in 5 years. You just sell. Then you make that, at least you get some money back, versus when it comes time, when you're renting, 5 years goes by and it comes time to move, you get no money. You just lose all that money you paid for rent, versus, you get some money back when it comes time to sell in 5 years. You have anything to add to that, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think those are a lot of good points. I would say too is just, a lot of people think renting's like a waste of money. I mean, it's definitely not a 20-year plan. I would say, but even if let's say you're you're just out of college, you're finding your first job. Even if you have your first job, you don't know if you're going to be there a long time. I guess that kind of goes off of what you said. If you don't know location or if you're going to be working the same job, I think renting's it has its place.
But like I said, let's say you're going to school for 6 years. Going to school, it's going to be 6 years plus or whatever. I mean, you could always buy a condo, live in it,
That's
get someone from your school that you become friendly with, have them move in with you, pay them, tell them to pay you $800 a month to crash at your condo. You're collecting rent from your roommate. You own the place. 5 years go by, you sell it. I mean, again, if it's short under 5, I think you're good. But if it's like 3 years, it might be a little too risky to buy, because, I mean, the key thing here is you want to be able to at least sell and have your property be worth more than what it was when you bought it. So in 3 years, it might not go up too much. You might break even, which is not even a bad thing. But I think 5 years plus, if you just go and rent. I mean, go and buy if you can do it.
Yeah.
Now you've rented for a few years. What was that scenario? Did you just feel not confident enough to make the jump? I know you're working in corporate America, some job.
Yeah.
A good 5 years you were renting out. I know that. Saving, I should say.
Yeah, I think I ended up renting, what was it, 2.5 years? I mean, it was,
was it a
at
matter
the time,
of saving?
Yeah, it was probably, I really didn't have any, I kind of moved out abruptly. I rented a room out of my cousin's house for about a year. Shout out to Isaiah for that, thanks. That actually helped me get started, but yeah, then I ended up, renting an actual place, of my own, and I mean, I didn't have any savings. My credit was really good, but again, I had like maybe $2,000 to my name, so went on to rent for 2 years, and in that time I really saved up and was able to buy. But so yeah, that it was all right. The apartment, it has its ups and downs, I would say, but overall I'd say being a homeowner is definitely something I enjoy a lot more.
So what else you got for me? Oh, one other questions.
All right, so buyer's agent versus seller's agent. What's the difference? And just if you want to touch on both, just what they are, and a little bit about both.
Yeah. So I think about 5 to 8 years ago in Rhode Island, there was no such thing as a buyer's agent. Everyone worked for the seller. So if there was a house for sale and someone came to me to try and buy the house, my goal would be to represent that seller and talk up that person wanting to buy as high as they can. Buy this house at top dollar. Try and do anything and everything to represent that seller. And so everyone out there buying a house didn't really have representation because everyone was trying to look out for the seller. Now there's actually buyer's agents. So the buyers do have rights to a real estate agent. So, we don't people kind of get confused. It's not like, I don't have a certain homes for sale. So if someone's looking to buy a house, I feel like people are like, well, what do you have for sale? Do you have anything? Whatever I have, he has for sale for the most part. And whatever Joe Schmo, your aunt, has, if she's a real estate agent, she has the same things for sale. We all are working with the same inventory. She doesn't have a specific pair of keys to a certain few homes that I don't have access to. We all have access to the same homes. Now, the difference here is if you want to work with me to buy a house, I'm going to represent you as the buyer. And we're going to go together to the property that you want to see. And the seller's going to have a real estate agent there opening the door. So now I'm representing you as the buyer, and the seller has a representative. So I'm going to go in there and try to look for the buyer's best interest, negotiate down, try and have a home inspection, try and negotiate repairs, do everything I can to get the property at the best deal for you as the buyer. That's the difference. I feel like a lot of people are skeptical. They put up a wall, and maybe it was because for so long everyone was representing the seller. But if you're looking online or, people are on Zillow and they get connected to me, it's not a matter of, no, I just want to work with the seller's agent. It's easier. People say that to me, and it confuses me, because why would you want to just go straight to the seller's agent if the seller's agent's going to look at you and say, pay more, waive your home inspection. You can't do that. You can't do this.
Yeah, because the seller's I'll just jump in really quick there. Like, the seller's agent is representing the seller. It's like if me or Jay go to sell our house and we needed a real estate agent to list our home and do all that, we're going to pay them a commission, 4%, 5%, 6%. We're going to pay them.
And it's kind of like, to make you look at it differently, it's kind of like a lawsuit. If I want to sue someone, let's say I want to sue you, I'm going to pay and hire an attorney to represent me and sue you, and you're going to be like, all right, well, if you're going to sue me, I'm going to get my representative to defend me and try and battle this out. Why would he say, you know what, you're suing me? I want your attorney to facilitate this.
Yeah, I'm going to go to your
attorney's going to just screw you over. So, it's like, think of that.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's just like if you're a buyer in the real estate market and you find yourself placing an offer with an agent you have no relationship with, most likely it's the seller's agent you're talking to, and that person's just going to try and jack that price up. There's no negotiating. So really, buyers have agents, sellers have agents. If you want to see a house, contact your buyer's agent. The buyer's agent will then call the seller's agent. The seller's agent will ask the seller if they have permission to show the property, and that's how that happens.
Yeah, there's just a lot of negotiating between, the buyer's and seller's agent, and we're working for you, and the seller's agent is working for the seller. So they're trying to get the best deal for them. We're trying to get the best deal for you. And you know what I mean? So there's that negotiation. Usually, a lot of times people going unrepresented, they get taken advantage of pretty easily. I mean, we've seen it happen.
Even the commission stuff, like you're talking to an agent, you want to sell your house. So you're trying to, you're going to be interviewing 5 agents. A lot of the sellers are like, what's the lowest you can go for your commission? What's the lowest you can go for your commission? All right, I get it. You want to save some money. But would you do that? You're going to have a procedure done, dentist, whatever.
Contractor.
Selling your house is one of the biggest things that can happen in your life. $500,000 house you're going to sell. Big investment. You go and have a tooth pulled. Kind of a big deal. So would you go to find the cheapest dentist? Hey, I'm trying to the dentist that's the cheapest, do things the most cheapest way, cheapest material, cheapest tools. Come on now, right? So I think it's you don't want the most expensive. You get what you pay for, I believe. So if you pay top dollar, you're going to get good service, good marketing material, good communication, good what's the word I'm looking for? Good service.
Yeah, it's just good representation. Yeah. It's like anything else. Like going back to contractors on that bathroom remodel, it came out great. I mean, I paid more for it. And I'm not saying you don't need to pay top dollar.
Today.
With the
service you still got afterwards.
Yeah, so there was like a little couple of drops coming from the upstairs or whatever, and so I think I called them Sunday, and I'm sorry, I sent a text Sunday just bringing that up to the person I've been working with, and she literally sent me a text right back. The plumber was there Monday morning, and boom, fixed, all done. And normally,
and if he was looking for the cheapest person to do that job, I guarantee they would have said,
weeks.
we handled it. Must be a separate issue. And then they would have went in there and charged you for that fix.
Oh yeah,
right?
Definitely. I've had that happen too. So, it's just definitely something to think about. And again, not that you don't necessarily have to spend a ton of money, but you want to just vet and, going cheap, it's not always the best move. But next topic. Do you think joining a team in real estate when you're starting out is a good idea? And just your overall thoughts on joining a team in general. I think joining a team is probably a newer thing, maybe not super new.
Yeah,
but
if I could go back in time, I would have joined a team for the first 2 to 3 years, and here's why. So the first 3 years of my real estate career, 2 years, I would say, I spent a lot of it trying to learn. Spent on YouTube, reading books, stuff like that. I was learning all on my own, and I wasn't really dealing with the real life reality. It was kind of all just an extended period of, pre-licensing, which I didn't learn much in. Just the formality of real estate. But joining a team, I think, if I were to go back in time, I would have joined a team. Here's why. That team most likely would have some activity going on. I would have received some leads probably. I would have had the opportunity to go to some open houses, go to inspections, learn in the field versus reading a book. I would have picked up a lot of things quicker. And I think the most important thing I would have picked up the quickest was gain some more confidence, because I think that's what really slowed down the beginning of my career. Was my confidence was down low, and when someone gets a license, the people around you you got to build trust, and it's hard to see trust in someone that's not trusting them in themselves. So, I mean, even for Matt, you could speak for yourself, but you joined a team right off the start, and you closed 10 transactions your first year. The first 2 or 3 leads came from the team. And I think you kind of just spiderwebbed off all those, gained confidence in business. My first year in the business, I closed on 2. And just another example is someone just joined the team from another brokerage, and he found himself doing a lot of. I talked to them last night. I said, "Hey, so since you've been on the team, it's been about 2 weeks. Do you find yourself a little more busy already? Do you find yourself, a little more confident?" And he said. His response was, the amount of time I put into real estate was about the same on your team or not, but I'm doing a lot of more tasks that are going to be leading to closings versus, I guess, before he spent a lot of time just kind of clicking around on people's websites, on Facebook, pages on Facebook, just trying to interact a little, which is a great way. But he wasn't talking to clients. He wasn't going to open houses. He wasn't going to showings. And now he is, so he's gaining that confidence. Again, if he stayed at that other brokerage, not on a team, he wouldn't be gaining the confidence as quickly as he will be now that he's on a team. Now, how's your experience been on a team?
Yeah, obviously, you kind of just hit it right on the head. But, I closed 10 transactions. A few came from the team, some spiderwebbed off. Sometimes I'm not sure, without those first couple, who knows, you don't really know, but, a lot of, I think, most real estate agents in their first year, close 1 or 2 or are out of the business really. So, obviously I think joining a team is really great. Especially
now, has the team ever, being the part that you're on a real estate team, did it give you confidence kind of saying like, you're going into something, you have no sales. did you like the feeling that you could say, well, the team has this amount?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely easier to to do that. And also, I mean, also too, from after doing a couple of transactions, which again came directly from from the team, like, so it helped. After doing a couple of transactions, you gain that confidence that way also. But yeah, for sure, it's easier to talk to someone with the backing of the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the backing of the team. I think
makes you feel like it makes you feel better. When you're
Exactly.
talking about it, you can because otherwise you're just talking about how you've never done anything,
right,
which is the truth.
And if you join any brokerage, I'm sure that person, the manager of the office, that manager is probably managing 50 plus realtors. You might have a great relationship with them. You'll be lucky if you're really good with them, like friendly level, but you're most likely not going to be on a friendly level with your manager. You're just going to be professional. So if it's 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and you have something important that you feel like it might not even be important, but to you it feels like it, as in, what do I text back this client? You're not going to reach out to your manager. You might be hesitant, shy. Oh, it's not a good time. If it's a team aspect, Matt will text me anytime, any point of the day, because it's kind of like a friendly team. We're teammates. We're a team. We're all looking to do the same thing. And the manager of the team is most likely not looking over 60 people. It's maybe they're helping out 5, 6, 8. So they're not too busy for you. There's a great, there's someone always in the back of your phone. You could reach out and get a response pretty quickly.
Yeah, and a lot of the times you really, how many 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Calls, texts, like, I feel like as a real estate agent, a lot of the times that's when it's that's when it's happening.
That's when it's happening.
So yeah, I mean that's definitely a lot of good points there. Another thing about joining a team too is everyone's benefiting from the transaction. So as much as like I want the transaction to happen, he does too, so we're all benefiting too. So that's just another thing. So it's not like, that the manager doesn't, I mean, I like ours. She's great, but
yeah, she's awesome.
It's just, she's not going to answer the phone call at 9 o'clock at night. That's not happening. So, and I wouldn't expect her to, honestly. So yeah, that's that.
Gotta keep that phone unlocked to keep this convo flowing.
I really do, huh? Single, let's see.
Oh, man.
So next, cut that out. So next topic, it's going to do single family, multifamily, and condo. When do you think would be the best? Yeah, lifestyle. Right? Yeah, best time to, depending on your situation, when's the better time to buy one or the other, or
so I think condos are good. It's a good thing to buy if maybe you're not at home a lot. So if maybe you work a lot but need a place to stay, obviously condos are good. Maybe if you're retired and you don't want to cut the lawn, you don't want to deal with snow anymore, condo is a great option. It could be an opinion of just how I feel, but I feel like condos were a little hotter 4 or 5 years ago. Right now it's really, I haven't sold a condo in a little bit now, but again, condo is a good option for someone looking to just go to work, not upkeep with the property too much, just have a place to stay.
And can you touch on the financing on condos?
I'll touch on the financing. Yeah, and there's actually an HOA fee. So an HOA fee it's a fee that you hear when it comes with a condo. Maybe it's $200 a month. Sometimes it's a little higher, and it's just additional to the mortgage, and it's just the fee you pay to the condo association, and it's going to be paying for the junk removal, the snow plowing, maintenance, lawn care, stuff like that. And financing. So here's the catch with the condos. So you as a buyer, Matt, could get pre-approved to buy something for a condo for $300,000, but doesn't mean you can actually buy the condo. So you have to actually get approved from the condo association. So let's say you're going, we're at North Point right now. Shout out North Point Bank. Let's say you touch out to your fave LO, Justin Conrad, saying, "Hey Justin, I want to buy this condo here, $300,000." He's gonna say, "Great. Here's a condo questionnaire. Give this to the condo association. They have to fill it out, and we're gonna review that document. And if there's something on the document we're not comfortable with, we actually won't lend to you." So it's a little trickier. So you could love a condo, but you might not be able to get financing for it. It happens, not all the time. And also there's another thing, FHA loan product. It's 3.5% down. It's very common loan product, but that association has to be approved for an FHA loan buyer. So if you look on your pre-approval right now and you're watching and you want to buy a condo, and if it says FHA loan on your pre-approval and you're looking for a condo, make sure if you go on showings that condo's pre-approved for an FHA loan, or you're probably wasting your time. You're going to look at something, you might place an offer, get it accepted, have the home inspection, spend $500 on it, continue to proceed, and then find out 3 weeks into it that you actually can't get financing for it. So be on the lookout for that. Multifamilies, right? So we did the condo.
Yep, got the condo.
So the multifamily, I think, is an absolute perfect way to jump into real estate investing. Probably better off. I mean, I really don't know. I can't say that, but it's just if you want to get into real estate investing. If you're looking to be into real estate, get a multifamily. It may be your monthly payment's a little tight. You're not too, you're solo, so you're not going into it with a friend, a spouse, or anything like that. Because 2 incomes, that's great. If you're working on one income, things are a little tighter, but you want to buy all by yourself, try getting a multifamily. Have the tenants help pay for your mortgage. So that's a good place to start with the multis. And single families, it's good for anyone. Single families, good traditional single families, good for anyone. But I don't know. Maybe if you have a friend or wife, family, want to start a family, get the single family. I don't know. But I think a single family is a good fit for anybody.
Yeah. Last one. So just last topic. Is it possible to be successful in real estate if you don't already own a home? Do you need to own a home? What do you think about that? Do you need to own a home to be a good real estate agent?
Yes, I think, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. You do not need to own a home, no, to be a good real estate agent. Might be helpful to you. You'll have a little extra confidence, but no, you can be successful without owning a home. Definitely.
Yeah, I would agree too. It gave me some confidence, but there's plenty of agents out there. And I think there's a misconception too. Like people feel like they think they need to own a home to become an agent, or stuff like that. But actually, there's one more thing I wanted to hit on too. Cost of becoming a real estate agent.
Yeah, a good one. Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people. I feel like being a real estate agent is a sexy job. I think people just like, wow, I want to be a real estate agent. So I'm sure everyone would be curious to know.
It's got the flash.
The costs of it. To get into real estate, it's going to be about, I don't know, these are very just ballpark numbers, maybe $400 to take your real estate exam. So let me get your calculator here for you. So $400 for a real estate exam. And then $400 to take the real estate class. Then it's another like $50, $170 to take the exam after you took the class. Now, let's say you failed. You got to take it again. So it's another 170, whatever I said. So now we're at about 740. You passed the exam. You took the real estate class. You spent $740 so far. Then you need to join a brokerage. The brokerage is going to have, brokerage has things set up a bunch of different ways, but at the end of the day, most of them are very similar. You have to have insurance, errors and admissions insurance. That's about $600 a year. So $600 added to that. Now we're at $1,340. Then you need to be a part of a local realtor board. That's probably another $800 added onto that number. So we're at $2,140, and you got everything you need besides MLS. And MLS is the portal realtors go to put homes for sale, things like that. It's about maybe $130 to start to get access to it, and then it's $30 a month continuously. So it's about you'll need about $2,500 to get your real estate license and be ready to go. Then it's just going to be a monthly fee of $30 for the Rhode Island MLS. Some brokerage will have like a monthly desk fee, maybe $50 or whatever. I think, and then you'll have to pay your errors and admission insurance yearly, and your northern board, the board dues yearly. But besides that, I mean, so right up front, you'll need $2,500, and then, yearly you might need another $2,000. So let's say $2,000 a year. That's about one real estate transaction to pay off your costs, and that's if you do no marketing, no nothing else. Very basic. So it's not costly to be. The sky is the limit in this business. You could make $90 million next year. You have no idea, which is why one of the main reasons I got into real estate. The sky's the limit. The more you work, the more you hustle. There's no salary. There's no cap. It's just a matter of building your own business. I mean, think of it. If you wanted to open up a coffee shop and be a business owner, you got to buy all your coffee beans, all your coffee cups, all the coffee machine makers, all the tables, pay the rent for the space. You're looking at $30,000. I don't know. It's just a random guess. You need $30,000, maybe a little, probably more, to open up a coffee shop. I had to come up with $2,500 to be a real estate agent.
Yeah. I think too, just another note on that is, some people will spend, $100,000 or more, or $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, go to school and come out and make $40,000, $50,000 a year. You can certainly make more than that, spending, $2,500. So, I mean, if you think $2,500 is a lot, 50 to 100 is a lot more. And I know a ton of kids come out of school and they make less than $50,000 a year. So.
I mean, it's no New York City, but I'm watching. I think it's Selling New York or whatever, and they're like making $250,000 for one sale. Obviously, they're selling $9 million buildings, but here in Rhode Island, there's expensive things to be made. There's expensive homes that sell. I mean, if you sell, just to briefly go over what a real estate agent might make in a transaction. I mean, let's say someone sells a $500,000 home, they're making about $10,000. You'll make $10,000 on it. So if you know a family or friend that owns a $500,000 home and you sold it, you'll make about $10,000. So you made back your money you spent on being a real estate agent for the next 5 years or something like that. So
and you can it's in the amount of hours it might take you to if you're right out of college or whatever, you just spent 4 years, $50,000. What you're gonna make. I mean, unless you're maybe in the tech world or a doctor or whatever, it's going to take you a lot longer to make $10,000 than it will, than it would as a real estate agent.
Now, would you say, this is a candid question, do you think real estate is easy?
I think, I might have thought that originally when I started, and then I do love it. So full disclosure, I do love it, but it's not what people think it is, I would say.
Yeah.
People, I think a lot of people think
I honestly thought I was going to jump into it and just crush it.
Crush
it. Year 1, 15 sales.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that
at
all. And I think the major hold up there is people trusting you. You have to have people trust you to sell a home. In your first year, not saying people haven't done it, but getting in your first year, a lot of people might buy a house behind the scenes, don't really want you to find out because they support you, but they don't trust you yet. So I'm sure I lost on about 5 to 8 transactions my first year because people probably bought, didn't tell me, and didn't trust me. I totally get it. But I do love it too. It's not easy, but I mean, there's pros and cons with every job. If you want to know more about real estate, being a realtor, reach out to Matt or I too. We can go over what it takes to be a real estate agent, kind of answer your questions offline. Maybe they can ask Matt how much he made last year, and he'll tell them offline. But
I'm fine with it. Episode 4.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. This is episode 3 of the Millennial Real Talk. Again, Matt and Jay here. We'll be here next week. If anyone has any questions leading into the next episode, if you want to hear a little bit more about anything, again, reach out, comment. Again, this is the #1 podcast in the world, Matt. So everyone, continue to share and love. Thanks.